Um, JJ Wood of JJ Wood Golf. How are you doing, sir? It's been a long time since we've had a conversation on camera. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? A little cold in here.
It is cold in Houston right now, and welcome back, you guys, to the Golf Performance Group podcast. I'm your host, Lebrano Palmer. We also have
JJ Woods.
And we are at a new facility. The
We are.
last time they saw us was a year ago.
I think it was 2. I was just looking it up. 2022. No, it must have been it might have been a year and a half
So
ago.
what has been going on with us to why we have not shot any content in a year and a half at least? What has been happening with you, sir?
Do you want me to be honest? Or
The viewers want to know what happened over this last year and a half.
So the last year and a half, a lot's happened, but it's all turned out for the best where, now we have this facility at Timber Creek Golf Club. It's a 1,500 square foot building on the range. We got 4 simulators and all the gadgets you can imagine.
All the gadgets, every gadget you could imagine is in here.
Been waiting about 13 years for an owner to actually follow through on their promise to put, structure on the driving range. So now we can do the full player development, programs that I originally designed. So it's been really good.
No, it's been a great time. And as for me, continuing to do podcasting, building out, I also have generated and built a new facility as well. In Spring Branch, we have 18,000 square feet. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with all the space.
Yeah.
No clue.
18,000. I mean, you could live in there. You could have all your little side hustle businesses over there.
And when the zombies attack, I got a place to hide out at. Are you going to come to my facility when the zombies come?
Speaking of zombies, this isn't really zombies, but have you watched Handsmaid? Yeah, so
You think we're close to the Handmaid's Tale? That's what's happening?
No. I've heard some crazy things, during the election that, Donald Trump was elected. We're going to be like the Handmaid's Tale. Is it the Handmaid's Tale?
It's a Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. So, we don't want to get political here, but
Absolutely. We are not a political podcast.
there's not a political. We do not believe in politics.
To tell you, if that was the case, we would have no.
We accept we don't know,
But we do know the golf game, and we are fully aware of what's happening in the golf industry and what the people may want to know. So let's jump right into a few topics. The first thing I wanted to ask you about, just in general, tell the people about the facility in real time and what they can expect now at the new GPG.
So we've got 4 simulators, like I said, and one is with Trackman, Swing Catalyst, Pressure Mat, and then I'm an ambassador for Unicore, which is a new up-and-coming company out of South Korea, which they're very popular over there. They're camera-based, which, if you watch on the driving range, Bryson and Phil practice, you'll see them with a Trackman behind them and a GC Quad, which is camera-based. So they say, for club data, the camera base is like 1% more accurate. For ball data, Trackman's like 1% more accurate. So we got a mix of the both. And Unicore actually has the pressure mats as well. So we got Unicore pressure mats and the high-speed cameras, which also have AI coach built in. So
Nice.
For the most part, the AI coach is pretty accurate. It has its bias, I've noticed. But it's pretty fun for people, to see what swing score they can get. And, there's a lot of games you can do that are both good for player development and they're fun. So, one of the biggest things in golf instruction, we're always working on technique and trying to make a perfect golf swing, and we end up playing golf swing out on the course rather than playing the game. So that's the biggest thing is, getting, fun games that are game-like, that you can simulate pressure. We have leaderboards. We give away a little bit of money at the end of each month for the winner.
Do you got any of this money? What's going on?
Well, that's because you're at the bottom of the leaderboard.
That's crazy. All right. So into this, I want to do, because one of the new segments that we'll add in every one of the podcasts is a technology breakout.
Okay.
And we know that you're big into golf tech. Actually, if I'll toot his horn, he won't do it. You're probably the leader to me, especially in the Southwest, on technology as it relates to golf.
I probably am because with Trackman 2011.
I would just say across the board technology. You're always on the cutting edge.
We do have an app being developed that's been going on the last couple of years. But to me, golf has always been about theories, philosophies, opinions, which that still comes into play, on how you want to play the game. But with the golf swing, we now know what works and what doesn't. Not meaning everyone needs a swing. There's not a perfect swing still, but we know you need to have certain matchups. And Trackman, for example, or Unicore, they're able to give us feedback and give us facts on why our ball did what it did. And when you're not hitting with a launch monitor, you're guessing. And I think like in our era of growing up, we're always thinking, a slice is because we're over the top. That's not necessarily correct because the club face is 80-ish% of direction and no one can see where the club face is pointing.
Especially not that fast. I mean, you're swinging fast. You're not going to be able to tell that impact.
And if you have an instructor that's, educated on the metrics and know what correlations cause what, for example, before we got Trackman, I was a rookie instructor and I had a mentor and he was, had a high spinny slice when I hit it bad. And so he tried to get me swinging more and out because I was over that plane line on a 2D camera. But we got Trackman in one day and he was actually helping me. And we were Googling the numbers. I was Googling it because he's like, Google this because I don't know what this means. And I was swinging 7 degrees to the right, which would be into out. And I was still in the high slice, but I was 11 degrees down at impact. So that correlate when you're that much down, at impact, your face is going to be open. So I was hitting a push slice. So, all the time, I have students that it's weird what golf does to our brain. Like everyone turns into mentally disabled when they.
But see, it's weird. Right? And this is a good starting point for the tech conversation. Why Unicore then? Why did you determine that they may be a good fit for the academy? Because they're a differentiator in the market, being camera-based versus Doppler-based. Why did you choose them as maybe a partner?
Well, I had heard good things from a colleague, I guess, Chase Cooper, who's now director of instruction up in Oklahoma.
Nice.
He had used it, not the first I'd ever heard of it, but they also integrate with GS Pro. Okay. So GS Pro is an awesome software that has more courses. Mount Bellevue Eagle Point is on there because it's open source. You can get on there, but it provides a lot of game-like practice features. But Unicore, they're known for being accurate data, and so you could go with full swing, I guess. Okay. But for the average person, I would say Unicore is a much better price point. And
I would agree.
And I actually had a student who had money he could buy anything, and he had ordered a full swing because that's what he had tried it out. And then I had him go try a Unicore, and he canceled his order of full swing and bought it. So, and he's a very smart guy, very analytical, and a good player too. So when he decided to do that, I was like, that's got to be the best. So
no, that makes sense. So let's pivot now. The golf world has been turned upside down. And let me give you some examples of what I mean. Obviously, Live is still around. The last that we shot, Live was really getting started. And they were trying to figure out their arrangement with how they may compete with the PGA Tour. We also have this indoor golf league that Tiger and Rory have partnered with to do these simulator tournaments that are happening every Thursday. They have an event on TV made for TV golf.
Is it Thursday, Monday, or Tuesday?
It's Thursdays, right? I think it's Thursday.
I don't know. That's the only problem I have with it. I thought it was
Thursday on Monday. Oh, I thought it was Thursday.
They had one this past Monday.
Okay, but either way that we.
So I haven't been able to keep. I'll watch some highlights, but I watched the first one. I've watched the first two, like the full thing, because I want to see Tiger. But then I think Rory might have went to a Monday and I missed it or something, and then I got off track.
Either way, so we've got Live still out there. We've got the golf league or the television version. We also have PGA Tour still kicking away. And then amongst all of that, all the leagues are trying to figure out a way to work together. Now, You've been a pro. You've played in PGA Tour events. You're familiar with what's happening in Live. You're an expert in indoor golf. What version of golf is going to make its way moving forward?
Honestly, everything is AI, digital. It's been going digital for a long time now. There's AI. And I think Tiger was a genius in going the indoor route because it's just one of the main things for golfers and why they don't play enough is because of cost and time.
Yeah.
And so, after COVID, the price of green fees went up so much where, it can, depending where you go, it can still be, $50 an hour or $50 a round. But you can play, if you're by yourself, you can play 45 minutes, play 18 holes of golf, And despite what, the traditionalists will say, yes, it's not perfect, it's not accurate, but retail golf balls aren't accurate either all the time. So, but the chipping and putting is where it's helped my game the best because you can't use your eyes to help you hit it that distance. You got to perfectly feel it. And as I played in the Trackman League and so I practice my putting a lot on it and it really helps you dial in speed control. And it is pretty accurate.
So you would say then indoor golf
is pretty accurate. It's really accurate.
Okay. So in hearing you then, if I'm reading the tea leaves, indoor golf to you feel like it's the future? Yes.
No, I think as far as like PGA Tour professional golf, the highest level, they'll be outside. Oh, no, but there's going to be more and more professional golf.
So I was going to say, do you think there will be more indoor professional golf versus will there be players, think about the gaming industry right now. So if I think back to, you and I are men of a certain age, we never thought that playing games would be a industry.
Yeah.
Where there are millionaires from Fortnite.
Yeah, that's
There's
great.
millionaires from Call of Duty, for example. Do you think that we're going to have actual millionaires from indoor golf?
Well, yes, because it's already happening with the, I forget what Trackman calls their virtual golf league, but one of the events I played in had 928 players in it. And first place was paying, I believe, $30,000.
We got
English. Yeah. No, but it's crazy though. The Northern Europeans, I should say, like Swedish, Denmark, those guys are dominating. Because 6 months, because they take it seriously and they play rounds of golf, half the year, and they're shooting 61 at, what do you call it, like Valhalla, from 7,300 yards, and the greens are firm and fast, which is like concrete on a simulator.
My fear, though, and this is my fear with technology, if you think people try to cheat on the golf course, can you imagine people cheating on a...
Well, they can't.
No, think about it. I didn't think people could cheat on video games, but there are people who figure out a way to cheat on Call of Duty or...
How do they cheat?
I don't know. They install software and they do things where they can actually cheat in the game.
So I know with Trackman specifically, so they used to do a Trackman combine competition monthly where they give away $10,000 to the high score.
Okay.
And, but Trackman's locked. You can't, you could have someone come hit for you in the sky.
You would think this stuff is locked, but I'm telling you, people figure out.
I'm sure that's probably their biggest battle with AI and all that coming out. Is because it really pisses me off when you're doing a combine in a lesson trying to evaluate someone and it triggers a practice swing or something because you can't go back and redo it. So, I'm sure someone's going to figure that out, kind of like Bitcoin. Someone may be able to figure that, I'm sure anything's possible. But as far as we know, there's no way to cheat it. And with the tournament, you had to actually film it within their app. You playing full round.
Gotcha. Okay. So there's
he's gonna hit there or come play for me.
Okay. So now, but before I'm gonna a new format that we plan to do this year also. Don't worry, you're still gonna get the joys of me talking about how terrible I am at golf.
I just had an idea though.
Yeah. What's the idea in real time?
So I could see indoor golf. So Arena league football.
That makes sense.
Because that's real football, but it's football.
No, that's real football.
I know, but they're not playing on the same parameter.
But you're getting hit.
Yeah. And we're still hitting a golf ball.
Anytime you're getting hit, it's real football. Getting hit hurts.
I think I was telling Tanner the other day I played 1 year flag football. And I was a kick returner, first game, 7th grade. And my buddy was we were 2 back. and they kicked to him, and he like, so I'm supposed to block, you know, and I just got blindsided, laid out. See, that's real football. We didn't have any pads. We just had flags, and I didn't even think about it. That's probably not even legal, but I don't think it was really graphic.
Okay. So a new thing that we're going to do, of course, today we're not going to give you as much golf talk. Expect to see us more. We're going to dive into the season. To us, the golf season is just now getting started, really. Really, for us, it'll start about the Arnold Palmer. So we got about 2 weeks before we jump into golf specific. But we want to start introducing you to all the players that are here at Golf Performance Group. So JJ, I'm going to have you bring up our first guest. Please introduce our first guest for our conversation today.
So a nice young man named Tanner Bandini. Is that correctly pronounced? Yeah. That's close enough. He's kind of like an Eddie Haskell, you know, but he probably doesn't remember Eddie Haskell.
Do you know who that is, though?
Yeah. No? And actually, that kick returner with me, my dad used to call him Eddie Haskell. He's kind of like Tanner. He could talk to any parent. They're like, you need to be more like him. But my dad was like, I can see right through. He was the wild one, you know. Yeah, so I first met Tanner when I got here. That's one of the things I love about Timber Creek is there's always a divide between the pro shop and the golf academy. Every place I've been, and I talk to other people in the industry, because I don't know what it is, but there's a divide. They don't, like each other. But here, everybody works together. So his good friend is Connor Blumrick, who's an assistant golf pro.
And we'll have Connor on soon, too.
Yeah, and he also played college football, but his best friend was Tanner. So Tanner started coming along, and he was caddying for a guy who was a reserve.
We'll say that. We'll give you when he comes on.
So he has